There's a saying that all's well that ends well. I would like to suggest that it's very important also how things begin. And paying attention and giving conscious deliberation to how things begin, how cycles begin, is important. And this has the effect of saving time, but also increasing our sense of joy in our accomplishment. I'm Dr. Michael Gaeta of the Gaeta Institute for Holistic Health Education, and I want to share with you some ideas as we begin this new year about this subject. So it's very useful, break this down to a day and then apply it to a year. It saves time if we give thought and heart attention to how we would like our day to go in the morning when we wake up. So spending some time, what would the ideal day look like? What would I like to experience or create or have happen? How would I like today to go? Internal experience, but also perhaps external accomplishment. And this saves time. It's always possible to reset later in the day after getting pulled in 10 different directions of all the things that are asking for attention. But if we can pause and give some conscious attention to the ideal start to a day, then that saves us time. So the same applies to a year, and we have this sort of cultural tradition of the New Year's resolution and such. And what I would suggest, and what I have found very helpful in my own life, is being still to listen and sense for what the highest and best outcome might look like. What would bring joy, fulfillment, meaning? What would be most useful use of that day or this year? And so step one is sort of listening, sensing, and with an attitude I find of availability to life. Here I am is the general attitude that I find helpful. Here I am. How can I best serve and contribute? And remembering that the greatest accomplishment that we can have from one perspective is ourselves, that we are the accomplishment. As we awaken to the largeness of who we are, as we awaken and remember the largeness of our purpose in living, as we remember the enormity of our power to create. From that perspective, it's a joyful consideration of what is mine to create. And sometimes the creation, the goal, is our own transformation and awakening. So what I would suggest is pay attention to the beginnings of cycles. The start of your day and the start of this year could be the start of a project or relationship, and giving care to that. There's an old saying of waking up on the right side of the bed, getting off on the right foot. We have these different things in our language of beginnings. And I think there's something to that. As I said, it's always possible to recover later on, but it's always best to start cycles as consciously and creatively with as positive an intention and joy as possible. So as you move into this year ahead, and it's great to practice this on a day-to-day at the start of the day, think about this and consider this, feel into this. It's a heart consideration more than a mental, figuring out. It's more of a heart sensing of what is a wholehearted engagement with life, and what would that look like, and what is yours to create and to be. Because there's being who we are, and then there's achieving what we accomplish in the world. And so see where that lands with you. Are you sensing it's more of a being goal, or is it more of an achieving goal? And certainly there's room for both. So sensing and into this optimal, ideal outcome, preferred future, fulfilling end that we begin with, beginning with the end in mind, as Covey famously said. So consider this and moving consciously into the year ahead, not in a rigid, it must be this way, but more sensing what is mine to create and who am I to become, and what would an ideal year ahead look like. And it's great to practice this on a day-to-day. So consider this, and there's the idea of the SMART goal, that are goals or intentions or ideas that are specific and measurable, attainable, doable, relevant or responsible, and then with a time, a by when, as it's said. So give some thought to this. It can be on the health side, which is more of a being goal. Could be on your business, which is definitely on the achieving side. And what is that for you? And write it down. It's very important to write it down. Let it live in a place where you can see it. So it's not just swirling around inside of you, but you look at it and you feel into that. And you know it's the right thing if it brings a sense of joy, if it brings a sense of lightness, a rising feeling in the chest. So once you finish this video or now, consider this. Sit quietly as soon as you can and consider this and make this a daily thing of beginning the day right, and then also beginning this year right, going slow to go fast. The inner sensing that leads to outer clarity or inner clarity that leads to outer accomplishment. So for more, please visit us at the Geta Institute at michaelgeta.com. I wish you much well-being and success and fulfillment and meaning and contribution and service and abundance for you in the year ahead. Be well.